record. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Fiendfyre team call, weekly call, whatever it is. Super excited. Hey, there's Preston. I'm super excited to have you guys here because we got a special guest speaker who's a awesome badass, and I really like her. I dig her. She's awesome. But I want to start off with some recognition or announcing a couple of new coaches to our team. Kate Cozart, who signed up under Brittany, and Melanie Taylor Johnston, who just happens to be my cousin. Well, worked very hard to bring her on for like 2 years. She's finally here. We're happy to have you, and we're excited that you're on our team. A couple of housekeeping things. Events coming up. Our challenge group starts on September 5th. It will be a Beachbody On Demand / paid group. And we're going to be running it with Alana's team, Spark Your Fire Empire, just like we did this month. And the event is set, if you're on my team, the event is set up, and I made you all co-hosts, so you can go through there and invite from your list. It's ready to go. So start going through your list, start inviting people, and let's get them in. The Get Started Right group for our newer coaches and anyone else who just wants a refresher is now live. There's like 20 different folders in there that you go through. Atlanta set it all up because she's like the master genius of this stuff. So just start with number 1 in the files and work your way down through 20. Take your time, absorb as much as you can. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, Alana, or Brittany, and we'll answer as best as we can. Also, we would suggest that next month during our challenge group that you team up with another coach, either from our team or a cross-line coach, and run like a 5 or 7 day free group, like, you know, push-up challenge or squat challenge, something like that, to help bring more people in, and maybe after that get them into our free groups and then roll them into a paid group. And if you need help with that, holler at me or Alana or Brittany, and we'll get you going. Okay, let's get into this, man, because I'm super fucking pumped. You know, one of the things I love most about Beachbody is that anyone can do this. Anyone at all. There's all different types of backgrounds. People from big cities, small towns, all shapes and sizes, from any background. It doesn't really matter. And once you become a coach, you are never alone again. Because this is like they don't call it Team Beachbody for nothing. We're all one big team. We're like a family. And it's just like the wind just doesn't seem to blow as cold on you anymore, because you have friends all over, man. Some of the best friends that I've ever had in my life are Beachbody coaches. And that brings me to this badass, Morgan. I've been following her for about at least a year, something like that. We've kind of gone back and forth on Facebook, liked each other's stuff, comments, you know, that kind of thing. But we really never spoke until like right before Summit. I was goofing around on Instagram when she messaged me. She goes, "Hey, dude, you going to Summit?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm going to Summit." She goes, "Well, we got to get together because us Diesel Nation girls, we know how to party." I was like, "Ooh." If you don't know who Diesel Nation is, that's Becky and Christina Delgado. They're like the sisters of Miami, the queens of Miami. Miami didn't have jack shit until they got there. And they started their own thing, built this huge-ass empire. And my best friend and mentor, Minty Horde, is part of Diesel Nation. So I know how they roll. So when Morgan said we got to get together, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm down for that. So we did meet at Summit. I was kind of in a rush. We had a beard, hung out a little bit. But I had to get to a concert, which was also cool. Billy Idol. Who'd have thunk it, man? That dude's still badass. It's like 61. But let me break this down for you. Morgan is a diamond coach. She is the founder of Just Fit League, which is an awesome freaking name, by the way. She is a Success Club 5 All-Star with 20 consecutive months of Success Club, which is one hell of an achievement. She's lost over 30 pounds. She's a burlesque dancer based in South Florida, but she travels all over the U.S. She is the producer and founder of the Shimmy Shake Review, as well as a founding member of Shameless Burlesque. So without any further ado, Morgan, it's all yours, sister.
All right. Hi, guys. How are you? Good, I hope. I'm a nervous wreck. This is the first call other than my own team call that I've had to talk on. So if I ramble, I'm sorry. My heart feels like it's going to come out of my chest. But I'll do my best. I asked Charlie when he asked me to be on this call if he really wanted me like talk about a subject or anything, and he said just to talk about my story and pretty much whatever's like on my mind for I guess the day or the week. So my story of becoming a coach in December of 2011, it was actually New Year's Eve. I had a show at a local club, and I was going to do an act that I've done 1,000 times, so I wasn't like nervous or anything. I'm normally not nervous when I get on stage. I've been a performer my entire life. So getting on stage and dancing in front of people is way easier than me having to talk to all of you right now. But I was getting ready, and I was having a friend help me get into a costume, again, that I've worn a million times, and it wouldn't zip up, like not even halfway. Like I had gained, I like so much weight that I was like totally in shock the fact that I could not get into this costume. I'm like, all right, so, you know, figure it out. I went on stage. I did what I was there to do. And that night I decided I've got to lose this weight that I miraculously put on because, you know, Christmas, holidays, I love cookies. I'm really bad. I really love sweets. So I decided to make a commitment to myself. I didn't know what Beachbody was yet. I just decided that I was going to start working out, you know, December 2nd. So, you know, December 1st, or sorry, January 1st, everyone's hungover and everything. So January 2nd, I decided I was going to start eating better, start working out. I got like a nutrition book, and I started reading a lot about nutrition and different ways to eat. I bought a treadmill, which took up half my living room because my living room is super small. I ran and walked on that thing every single day. And then a friend from high school that I hadn't talked to in years out of the blue messaged me about Shakeology. I asked her about it. She gave me a couple samples. It was chocolate. I absolutely loved the way it tasted, and I was like, I need more of this stuff. How do I get it? So she gave me all the information, and at that time, I just signed up to get Shakeology. After about 30 days of eating better, being on Shakeology, and using my treadmill, I lost about 8 to 10 pounds. And she approached me about becoming a discount coach. Of course, I asked her all the information. She gave it to me. Her and I went back and forth. You know, the back and forth you go with everybody. And I decided that I wanted a discount on my Shakeology. I had no intention whatsoever to work the business. I didn't want to work the business. I just wanted a discount on my shakes. I want to say about a month later, I bought my first program, which was Chilene Extreme. So I was doing the program and drinking Shakeology. I lost another like 10 pounds. So I was already down about 18 pounds. Then in February of 2012, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Sorry, guys. My dad was my best friend. And seeing him go through all that was really hard on me because I had to take care of him back and forth through the hospital. And I decided that I needed to take care of myself so I could take care of him. And my escape from having to take care of him and all the negativity was me working out. So, and eating better, and the Beachbody thing was, like I said, my escape from everything else that was going on. He died really quick. It was like less than a month. And after that, I kept on going. And I know a lot of people, you'll talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people will say, oh, I have a lot going on right now. I can't do this because, I don't know, my kids with school or, my day job or anything. Honestly, when people tell me that, I'm just like, BS. I mean, if it's something you want to do, if you want to get healthy and you want to, make a change in your life, life happens. Things happen no matter what. Just like in this business, things happen. If you want to push forward in your business, if you want to push forward with your workouts, you want to push forward with eating correctly, you're going to do it. You can't convince somebody if they're not ready, but life is always going to happen. Things are always going to happen no matter what. You just have to keep on pushing forward. After my dad died, I kept on going, and then I want to say, I was still a discount coach, but altogether after Triathlon Extreme, and then I did combat, altogether I lost 30 pounds, and people started asking me, what are you doing throughout this whole thing? And I was telling them what I was doing, but I wasn't working the business. So I was working it, but not working it. And I would just pass them along to another coach. Finally, my coach dropped out. She was never really there to tell me anything. I learned everything pretty much on my own, and then I got adopted by Christina, which is the best. I wish I would have originally started with her. But so altogether, like Charlie said, I've lost 30 pounds. Everyone goes up and down a little bit. I've completed Triathlon Extreme twice. I've done combat twice. I have done P90X3 twice. I've done the 21-day fix, I don't know how many times on the 21-day fix extreme. I've done hammer and chisel once. The only thing I can say that you have to be really consistent with your workouts, with your posts, the vital behaviors, workout, personal development, inviting people. I know that a lot of people don't like to just do cold invites, but you'll never know. I was having a really hard time last month. I was at Success Club, I think 3, and I was thinking, oh my God, I at least need to get 5 this month. I'm going to freak out. And the last day of the month, I wrote someone out of the blue that I haven't talked to in I don't know how many months. I'm like, hey girl, how are you? And she was like, doing good. And she said, you're looking good and everything. And I go, have you ever thought about possibly joining one of my challenge groups? And within 5 minutes, she signed up. So don't discount anybody. If you're having a hard time, start conversations with people. If it's the last part of the month, cold invites, personal development's really, really important. I at first, when I decided to start working the business, I was like, oh, I don't need that. I personally hate reading. I have never been a reader. Both my parents are readers. I'm dyslexic, so after 10 minutes of trying to read something, everything jumbles up. I get a headache, and I just get frustrated. I could not spell if my life depended on it. If you look at my Facebook, I'm constantly having to edit things. My husband was like, you need to edit this, because I'm really bad with stuff like that. So I do a lot of audiobooks. I listen to things in the car when I'm driving. It's kind of hard sometimes when you're driving to listen to things, so I might have to listen to them 5 or 6 times before they absorb. But anything you can do. I mean, there's always time for you to figure out something. Your busy schedule, like I said, listen to something in the car, listen to something while you're getting ready for work in the morning, or anytime when you're cooking. There's always time to do personal development, and it's super important. Like I said, I didn't realize how important it was until I really started working the business. I don't know what else. Challenge groups. I see you guys are doing challenge groups together. That's really cool. I've done a couple of that with some of my team, and they end up working out really, really well. I've also noticed that free groups work really well, which Charlie was also saying you guys do. That's pretty awesome. That usually helps challengers. I've gotten a lot of challengers that have bought challenge packs from me from free groups, and some coaches that were in a free group, then a challenge group, and then became a coach. Let's see what else. Did any of you else other than Charlie go to Summit?
Yeah,
okay.
Brittany did.
Yeah, did you enjoy it? Good. I know when you go to, if you guys haven't, the rest of you haven't been to Summit, I really highly, highly suggest trying to be there in New Orleans. It really pushes your business forward. You have 1,000 aha moments. Also just like the community and like conversations you hear other coaches, you'll get ideas. Like I was in line waiting to get something to eat and I heard two coaches behind me and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So it's pretty amazing. And if you haven't never been to New Orleans too, the city's awesome. One of the things that really hit me in Summit this year was one of like the presentations. Miguel, which I can never say his last name right. Starts with a C. Do you know Miguel, Charlie?
Oh yeah, Miguel. I can't pronounce his last name either.
It's Carrasco, I think. I'll murder it. I live in South Florida. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. But one of the things that he said in his presentation that really hit me is that you can't help those who don't help themselves first. And it's really true, just in everything, you know, your challenge groups, your coaches, unless someone really wants something and they you know, they're just not going to do it unless they help themselves. You can't help those that don't help themselves first. You can't get frustrated with challengers or coaches that are very up and down. You just have to be there for them. I've learned that not to take things personally. You learn a lot about yourself in this business. And like I said, I used to be one person, if someone says something, I would get really aggravated or they buy a challenge pack and they start it and then just go away, and I'd be like, why did you, like, I would get frustrated and I'd like try to talk to him and I would see myself like, you know, kind of telling him like, well, you know, if you finish this, by now you should have finished this program. And I'm like, you know, I can't, exactly what Miguel said, you can't help those that won't help themselves first. You can just be there for them, check on them, and really focus on the ones that want your help. And like I said, and sometimes they come around, the ones that at first like fell off, they usually come around, but just don't get frustrated. Take one day at a time. I don't know if you guys know of Team Z.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I freaking love Team Z. If some of you aren't on it, I highly recommend it. It really puts in perspective of what you should be doing according to the goals that you set for yourself. And Rolly, which is on Diesel Nation, also told us about my team about it when he was on our call, and I think all of my coaches that are like active are on it right now. It's like $30 a month, but you can use it as a tax write-off for your business.
Mindy's actually her call next week is all about Team Z. She's going to do a little, you know, how to use it kind of thing.
Yeah, awesome. I want to be on that call.
I'm
still I just started, so like I'm every day I learn something new about it, and I really freaking like it. Like I honestly think it's like way more worth than the $30 a month.
Well, I had it for a month free, and then I paid for it for a month, and I got to the point where it was more like a contest for me, just to get through the numbers, and I felt like my content wasn't that great. I was rushing through conversations just so I could check it off the list and go to the next one. So I'm still working on that. I kind of burned out on it, and I'm going to step back. I'm going to go to Mindy's call next week and, you know, hear what she says about it. Maybe there's some things that I'm doing wrong, so I'm going to give it another chance.
You can make a competition with yourself. Just don't make it like a rush competition.
There's something about looking at a screen going, okay, I got to get this one done. I got to get this one done. For me, I don't know. Something in my brain.
I understand. Everyone's different. Have you guys all done that color code test where you figure out what color you are?
Your personality? Yeah,
the personality color code.
Yeah.
Have the rest of you done it?
I don't think so.
You should send them all the link to do it, because it's kind of like it makes you take all these questions. It's a little bit long, but it tells you like what color you are, and for what color you are, it tells you like your personality. Like I'm a yellow, so I'm more of the like party kind of girl. Like I like going out and having fun. I think Christina's red, which is the more business oriented. So it It's really awesome. My husband is a blue, so he's gone very passive. What were you, Charlie?
Blue.
Blue? Yeah. I'm yellow. Rolly and I are yellows. We're all about the party.
I'm a blue trying to be yellow.
You're a blue trying to be yellow? Brendan's a blue too. Yep. But if you guys are interested in that, I'm sure Charlie can get you the website to go and do that.
Yeah, Jimmy Hayes Nelson turned us onto it. I think it was at the men's event. I can't remember, or maybe he posted it in our men's group. And I remember I was at work doing it.
Yeah.
Walking in. What are you doing? Oh, nothing.
Christina asked all of her coaches to do it, so. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna open it up for questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyone have any questions? May I unmute everybody?
Hi.
Morgan, what are you doing for cold invites? How are you doing it? What is the conversation?
There's a script in DN that we use that Christina and Becky made for us. Let me see if I can get it up to show you some of the things. Normally, and I mean, you add your own thing to it, like your own, because it's kind of generic. So let me see if I can find it. Files. Like, I'll give you an example of one of the ones that they said. Scripts. No, for some reason, I've been having internet issues all day. For some reason now it's not coming up. Like my internet was totally down, like I want to say like an hour and a half ago. And I started freaking out. Let me see if I can just find other ones I've sent somebody. It's usually, all right. It's usually people that it's not like someone I just added to my Facebook. It's someone that's obviously been following me for a little bit. But I at least know that what, I'm doing or what I'm interested in. So it's not like, I just add you to Facebook and I'm like, hey, you want to join my challenge group? Okay, let's see. I found one that's on my Facebook that I sent to somebody. It's super simple. It's nothing, too elaborate, but I'll put it in the chat so you guys can see it. Okay, I just put it in the chat. Super, super simple. It's nothing, like I said, elaborate. I also try to send something to people when I first, I send a friend request to someone and they accept my friend request. And then, I might not do it the same day, but, maybe a couple days after. I usually try to introduce myself to those people so, they know a little bit about me to see if they want to stick around. Because, sometimes you add people and they see all your posts.
And they run, yeah.
Yeah, and they run. So they're like, this person's crazy. All they do is work out. So.
Does anyone else have any questions? Anybody? Don't be shy. Brittany? Unmute yourself, Brittany. Still can't hear you.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the objection when people say, you know, I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, school starting up, or blah 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 blah. I find like I'm too easy on backing away and saying, okay, I don't want to bother you anymore, but I want to be more like you, like, you know, no excuses. This, if you really want to go after it, how do you handle the?
Normally, I tell them if they was like, you know, I got a lot going on right now. I don't think I can, you know, commit to something. I'll ask them exactly what their objections are, and usually they'll say like time, or you know, normally it's time. So I'll tell them, you know, I thought the same thing when I first started this, and yes, I admit it's not super easy, but I am going to be there with you to help you all, you know, the entire way. I also tell them, you know, if it's something you really, really want to do and you're super serious about it, you got to start somewhere. It's never going to be the right time to start. It's just like it's never the right time to have a kid. And I don't have kids, but I have many friends that have children. It is never the right time to have a kid. Just like this, it's never the right time to start. Things are always going to be in the way. I've heard so many excuses, and I think I have an answer to everybody's excuse. But usually, you know, I just ask them exactly what are their objectives? Why are they saying no? And like I said, it's usually time, and I'm like, I will help you. I promise I'm not going to let you fail. As long as you work with me, we'll get through this, and let's, you know, that's normally what I say. And normally they're, you know, we'll talk back and forth, and they'll ask me questions, and I'll go back and forth with them. But I want to say at least it's 50-50. 50% will say yes, 50% will say no. And if they say no, you know, I just say, okay, you know, awesome. You know, let's still keep in touch. I'm not going anywhere. If you decide that this is something you want to do, I'm here and ready to help you whenever you want.
What do you say to them when their excuse is the cost of the challenge packs? I mean,
I break it down for them, especially because, you know, everyone says Shakeology is expensive. I send them some literature on exactly what's in Shakeology to let them know what they're paying for, and tell them, you know, if they're already taking, like, say, a protein shake, which I also say that Shakeology is not a protein shake. It's a nutritional shake that does have protein in it. I tell them to look at the ingredients on the back of what they're drinking and compare it to the ingredients in Shakeology. Half the time they can't even pronounce what's in the shake that they're drinking. It's full of chemicals. And they say, well, it tastes great. And I'm like, because it's 90% artificial. I go, and then I'll send them, I go, look, I'll send you a sample to at least try this and see the difference. What do you feel the difference between your shake and Shakeology? And I also tell them, you know, how do you buy lunch every day at work? Or do you buy a cup of coffee in the morning? I'm like, and they usually say yes, and I go, how much do you spend on that? So, you know, I go through the thing, I go, well, it's only like $4 and change a day for 30 days for Shakeology. If you replace your lunch with Shakeology, you're already saving money. I go, you're replacing a meal a day anyways, so you're saving money. You kind of have to just break it down to them and make it sound like in the long run they're going to save money. Because in the long run they do. Right. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. So, and there could be nothing in the bag, and if they hated it and they got nothing out of it and they didn't save money, they can still send it back. So you just have to, like I said, you have to be kind of creative in the way you talk to people, especially if it's look on their Facebook and like try to get to know them and then adapt what you're going to say to them. It can be the same thing, but you can say it differently to somebody. So all I can say is be creative. It's taken, you know, and sometimes I say the wrong things to the people, the wrong approach, and it happens. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, sometimes you want to talk to them for a long time.
Yeah, don't talk too much. If you talk too much, you lose them.
Yeah, but you want to let them do the talking, and you want to find out, you want to learn about them.
Right, exactly.
They're going to tell you why they want to do this. So when they start crying about the price, you throw that back at them about why this was so important in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find one of the things I've sent to someone when I first make friends with them. And I found one, but for some reason it's not letting me copy. I might have to do this in two. Any other questions? Well, first of all, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
you did. Thank you.
No problem. The internet's still acting weird. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Lindsay, you look like you have a question.
I have another one, Morgan.
Sure.
So when you add people, you're cold marketing, you're adding people that you don't know to your market. Do you reach out to them or do you wait and?
Like I said, I'll usually wait a couple days after, I've added them. So I'm not like just going, hey, how are you, blah, blah. So I'll usually like wait a couple days. I'll go through their profile and maybe like comment on some of their stuff. Like if they post something, just comment on it so they know that you're there and, you're reaching out, but you're not like just bombarding them. So like say I added someone the beginning of last week. I've commented, I think, like twice on 2 different things that they've posted. And then I think just yesterday, I'm going to put this in the chat also. I sent them, why is this not letting me paste it? Is it too long? I sent them like a little like, how you doing? Thank you for accepting my friend request, and like just let them know a little bit about myself. So again, like I said, when you post something, they're not just running because you're a crazy workout freak. Why isn't it not letting me do this? Maybe I can share my screen so you can see it instead. All right, how do you share a screen on this thing? Share screen. Okay. So it's in my notes.
Here we go.
It's here. It says, hey, thank you so much. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. So that is what I will normally send to someone a couple days after I add them or they add me. I can like send this to Charlie so he can send it to you guys if you want to
That'll work.
use it and adapt it to yourselves.
Cool.
That would be awesome.
And usually when I send something like this, I usually get, a reply in like a day or two and just say, thank you so much for reaching out for me. Some of them, and sometimes people say like, cause I'm the silly, crazy cat lady. And so, I have cats too, how many you have. So it starts a conversation up with a person and you get into this like conversation relationship with this person. You don't really bring up that you're going to do a challenge group or anything. And normally after they start seeing all your posts, they will ask, or since you already have a relationship with them, you can just, kind of reach out to them and say, hey, I'm starting this free challenge. I just want to know if you might want to be interested in doing it, or I'm starting a 21-day fix. I'm sure you've seen some of my posts. Is it something that you might be interested in? So that works. Any other questions?
Anyone? We're going to have a question.
Sure.
What is the best advice that another coach has given you about this business?
Oh, it's been a lot. My best advice. Let's see. One is just not to give up. There's going to be days that you feel like that you just want to throw in the towel and like just give up on this entire business whatsoever because it's not going your way, or you just can't get anybody interested or anything. All you have to do is be true to yourself. Post your journey, post your workouts, post your shakes, be you and be a real person, and people are going to be drawn to that. So even though it's like, it's super hard sometimes, it's not always easy, just do not give up. Because if you give up, you are giving up something that can be so amazing and change your life so much. And like, you never know until you try. Just don't give up.
That's very similar to the advice I got. Jimmy Hayes Nelson told me, I asked him, I said, what is the one thing I need to know about this business? This is like 3 years ago. He says, be here a year from now.
Yep. Be
I've
at
heard a lot of
Summit
people say
next
that.
year. All of you need to be at Summit next year.
I got a few going. Let's see. I think Lindsay's going. Preston's going. Brittany's going. Alana's going. She's not on my team, but she's going. Melanie's going, right, Melanie?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm going. I told you I would give a year. So yeah, I gotta do it.
You can ride with me, man, because it's just like a 7-hour drive from Texas. We're heading that way. Phew.
I'm brand new, by the way, Morgan. I've only been on the team since like less than a week ago. So
Hello, welcome.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna let Morgan go because we've taken up enough of her time.
Well, thank you guys for listening to me. It wasn't as heart-wrenching and scary as I thought it was going to be.
You did awesome, Morgan. I appreciate you
I were
coming.
crying. DN Nation's really big known for crying, and that was a little hard, but I had to share it that you can still do this business and still work out and still do things when life gets really shitty.
Hold on. Oh, I need to see if I can take a picture.
Okay.
I suck at this, but I think I can. Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Screenshot.
Mhm. Snipping tool. New. Okay, everybody smile. Okay, I think I got it.
Get it?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll share those couple things that I posted with Charlie so he can share it with you guys in your team page.
Cool. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.